In today's edition of Eat Wisely, Know What You Eat, we consider the relationship between clients and farmers. Do consumers in any way actually influence what farmers produce? Wandering across Poland, we have come across many good quality products with a link to local tradition. Among other things, we like to eat good sausage. We are looking for traditional dumplings and cakes that are associated with our grandmothers. So what is the relationship between customer and farmer? Where do we buy? And what is the meaning of local, healthy food? When I buy something in a shop, not in the market, but in the shop, then I pay special attention to the label. You should pay attention from where the product comes from, because local products can't be bought everywhere. This food is healthier and fresher, but I also like to talk to the person selling the food. There's no such possibility in supermarkets. If I don't know something, I want to be able to ask and always get an answer. I want to know where the vegetables and fruits come from. I definitely avoid buying vegetables and fruits in supermarkets. They are not really checked. In the market, I have proven suppliers. I have been buying from them for years. It's important for me. I want to know where the food comes from. I'm aware of system imperfections, but like most people in cities, I buy in supermarkets. I have to trust that what's written on the label in bio departments, or that it's from a local farmer, or the product is Polish. I have no choice but to trust the owners. I would love to go to villages near Kraków to buy eco eggs, carrots and so forth. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. Sometimes on Saturdays I enjoy the benefits of the Kraków metropolis and I go to the parsley market. But there are too few such initiatives and I'm always trying to find out new opportunities. But I end up buying in supermarkets.
Staram się dowiadywać, ale jestem skazana na markety.
Jak to się niektórzy śmieją, że rolnik śpi, a w polu mu rośnie.
Some people laugh at farmers that they sleep while food grows in the field. This is a myth. To really grow anything on a farm, you have to put in a lot of work, mainly physical work. You also have to have a lot of knowledge when it comes to production, cultivation and protection. Agrotechnology is the basic thing. The land needs to be well prepared for cultivation. It's best to use lime in the fall, alternating with manure. The lime cleans up the soil, whereas the manure gives such a supply of fertilizer to the soil that it lasts for 3 or 4 years. Oh, and weeding. Weeding is never enough.
Gdyż wapno odkaża, natomiast obornik na 3-4 lata daje taki zapas nawozu do gleby, że wszystko spokojnie sobie rośnie. Oj, plewienia to nigdy mało.
At the moment, we supply organic and health food stores in Kraków and the Wieliczka area. Also traditional shops, kindergartens and schools, as well as individual customers, including the parsley market where we sell directly to the customer. I also sell on the farm. I get text orders on my telephone, and in the evening the customer comes, sees how the food is packed and how it is produced. Customers love this.
W tej chwili ścinamy jarmuż. Bardzo modne ostatnie warzywo.
We are currently harvesting kale, a very popular vegetable, good for cocktails, for crisps. Also you can add it to all sorts of dishes, a very healthy vegetable. I've been growing it for 4 years. It's customers who get me interested in growing completely new crops. The customer tells me what I could possibly produce, what would suit them. Well, that's how I experiment.
No i w ten sposób eksperymentuję. Od 5 lat.
We have been focused on producing healthy food for about 5 years. Before that, we had a different type of production because the market was different. And now the customer is much more aware of what they are buying. They are interested in eating more healthily, looking after themselves. It's no longer about buying cheaply, junk food, so to say. I see growing demand. People are more interested. It's an individual thing. At the parsley market where I go and we sell directly, we see it in the clients. We see it in our regular clients. They tell us that they can't imagine life without us. They come to our farm. They call us. I see the future in very positive terms.
Widzimy coraz bardziej, że
We see more and more that customers are looking for traditional local products. They want to know where they come from. And the attitudes of farmers is also changing because they know that the customer will be assessing their products. It's a growing market. When we look at the countries around us, we see people are buying more and more locally produced food. Our market will adapt just as it has in Germany and in Denmark. It's also going to be the same with us. So these local food initiatives are very important for our customers.
by wskazywać na oczekiwania klientów.
Visiting local markets and various types of fairs, one can come to the conclusion that we are increasingly buying vegetables and fruit in such places. But if we look through the doors of a supermarket, it turns out that there's no shortage of people buying there also. So what's the truth about the Polish market? Is there already a relationship between the customer and the farmer? On the one hand, we have the farmer who produces, and on the other hand, we have the buyer. There's something missing in the middle to bring these two sides together. At the moment, the space is exploited by supermarkets, big business, mass production. We seem to have lost local markets over the past 20 to 30 years, and it's these that we need to figure out how to reconstruct. I think there's a big role here for local governments, whether they're municipalities or powiat governments. For example, the school or canteen in the school functions because it is part of the local government. But local government is subject to procedures of public procurement. Until recently, price was the only criterion. It must be said that local government was also interested in operating the canteen as cheaply as possible. And this is how we lost the element of locally produced carrots or potatoes from local farmers. Local farmers were substituted by large producers. But now we have a social criterion in public procurement, and this gives new opportunities to local government. But this requires additional effort. First of all, organizational effort. Then procedures have to be prepared. And that means awareness that this is a big effort, which also requires justifying to external auditors why the social criterion was applied. All this has to be based in arguments. But the fact is, there is a social criterion. Local governments can't limit the territorial nature of public procurement, for example, confining purchases just to the local government area from where the food comes from. But the fact remains that other elements other than price can be taken into consideration. It's a matter of getting used to new opportunities. There's a great deal of reluctance to try out new things. New solutions require more effort and require time. We're talking about social change, institutional change. Now is the time to show good examples, to show how solutions can be completed. I think in 10 years or so, we'll have a completely different market. On this score, I'm really an optimist.
Ja jestem w tym względzie optymistą.
Po raz kolejny przekonujemy się, że wszystko...
Once more, we see that everything depends on people, on their initiatives. Here we visit a local action group, the Raba Valley. We visit an emerging cookbook museum and also many local food initiatives.
związanych z produkcją.
Nasz teren działania obejmuje Wiśnicz, Nowy
Our
Wiśnicz.
area includes Wiśnicz, Nowy Wiśnicz, and a castle which is associated with a cook. A master cook, really. He was responsible for the kitchens and the culinary matters. I'm not sure if he actually did the cooking. His name was Stanisław Czarnecki, and he was the author of the first Polish cookbook in 1682. And this is why, in this place, we started to collect cookbooks, and we concentrate on local and regional culinary matters. And we are organizing in this very place a museum. But we also have a kitchen. And this means those who visit our museum also have the opportunity to do some cooking. We organize culinary workshops. Today we're going to be talking about vinegars. Tomorrow about Lithuanian cooking. Earlier we had meetings about coffee, about żurek, and of course chicken broth, rosół. It's very important. We have a festival, a chicken broth festival here in Żegocin this year. It's the 9th time we are doing this. It's important because the first entry in Czarnecki's cookbook is Polish chicken broth. It's really a meal because it's much more than a soup. It was a very important national dish.
Polski ewidentnie była to bardzo ważna książka narodowa.